welcome back once again, guys. This is the Future Talk Show, and this is Kelvin, who is your host. We have been talking about economic empowerment, and this is part 2 of economic empowerment, just as we had promised with our guests, Ronna, right from the USA. So welcome on board, and let's continue to discuss and get informed as you learn. Remember to also teach other people as well. Thank you very much, and welcome on board. Let us welcome back our guest for today, who is Ronna, to give us much more about the economic thing. Now, Ronna, I've been wondering. People think that when you are thinking about economy, it's all about money. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's all about money?
No, it's about creating value.
Yes.
And about having enough, but also each of us, Kelvin, have a purpose.
Right.
And my purpose is to come to Kenya to help people, to empower people. I built an organization. These things take money. So you have to have money in order to do, in many cases, what God has called you to do. Not always, but to fund ministries, to fund organizations, to fund churches, to fund education. These things require money to send children to college. So we're not talking about materialism here. This is about accomplishing your purpose. And most of the times it's going to require some capital, some money. So Create, Own, and Grow also helps us to fulfill our purpose. And so it's very, very important. But let me just say this. In Africa, it's been said, and I see that, it is the richest continent on the bottom, but the poorest on top.
On top, uh-huh.
All right, why is that? The difference is, number one, it's a mindset. We have to change our mindset that we don't have to be poor like our grandparents and our great-grandparents, and we can rise out of poverty. God has given us that ability. And there are so many resources, even in Kenya. You know, we have gold, we have oil, we have rich soil, we have lots of sun, we can grow lots of things, but still, you know what our greatest asset is people.
The people themselves.
And they just need to be empowered. They need to be shown how to do this. Now, yes, there are some economic things that go into place. Corruption does hurt. Also, a society needs to be pro-business so that you can get people to come in and invest. And all of those things do help. But the biggest thing is to empower people. That is our greatest resource. And the people in Kenya and the people in Africa are very intelligent. They're very hardworking. They are very resourceful. They are our greatest asset in building and creating wealth. You just need to get your mindset that you can do it. Yes, I can start that. Number one, write down your goals. If you don't write down your goals, most of the time, you're not going to accomplish it. But if you say 30 days from now, I'm going to fill in the blank. 60 days, 1 year from now, and work backwards. You've got to set goals. And so these are very simple steps that everybody can do. Set goals. Find out what you're good at. Think about what are some things around me that people need that nobody is providing a service for, and begin to create. And then begin to also save money, put money aside, start looking for property, start building a brick at a time, own your home, own your business, own yourself, and then grow that business, reinvest in that business with assets, with people, with equipment, whatever you need to do. And it will happen if you'll set goals and take one step at a time. You're building one block at a time.
I'm glad you're talking about savings. And before we move to savings, in the society there are also two kinds of people. Mm-hmm. One that is illiterate, the other one that is literate.
Right.
And usually this is a bigger cause when it comes to the economic differences.
Right.
So the concept, is it consumable for all
yes.
kinds? All kinds?
You don't have to be able to read or even write to do this. It just takes you're making up your mind you're going to do it. setting goals. And yes, you might need some help later on if you didn't get to go to school and you don't know how to manage money. Yes, maybe you need to call on some resources and get some help. People want to help you. They want to impart their knowledge. And you need to build a community of people. Sometimes when I have an idea of something, I call people who are my close confidants. Here's what I'm up against. Here's some struggles. I've hit a brick wall here, you see. And so it is important for community to be involved and to ask people that have done it and get their advice. But really, these are things that anyone can do, and God has gifted. He's given us a mind. He's given us a creative ability and gifts in order to do this. And yes, go rely on some people who maybe are smarter than you are.
Exactly.
Yes.
Don't move with the people who are of your same standards.
That's right. Be the dumbest guy in the room. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, be the dumbest guy in the room. And be willing to also take risk. I mean, there's nothing that we do without risk. But at the same time, if we don't take these steps of faith, but also just concrete steps, we're going to be right back where we were next year.
Yeah, and there are two questions I want to ask Ronna. One is concerning savings, right? People believe that savings, there's a concept behind saving. Mm-hmm. You can save when you don't have something
right.
that you're doing. Can you give us a tip about savings before we can come to this other part that I'm going to ask you after savings?
You know, there's a concept that I really like called the 80-10-10.
80-10-10.
80-10-10.
Oh, yeah.
So you live on 80% of what you make.
Yeah.
You save 10%. And then you give 10% back to your church and to help people. 80-10-10. And it's a wonderful formula because, cash has, they say, wings.
Oh, yeah.
And it just flies away.
And always when you receive it, it's always trying to find a purpose, so it's always flapping.
Yeah, it's always flapping. And there's always something you can spend money on.
Oh, yeah.
So you make a conscious effort. Oh, yeah. I made this amount of money, so 80% on that, that's what we're going to live on.
Oh, yeah.
10% we're going to save, and 10% we're going to give back to God's work and to our community to help other people. The Bible is really quite simple. It's love God, love others. And so as we love God and we love others and serving them, that's where that 10% can go. But that 80-10-10 or 80-20 concept is very important, and we can all do that. What we tend to do in America, and I'm sure it's here too, is we tend to live at that 100%, and then there's no room.
Oh, yeah.
There's no room to save. There's no room to give to other people. But if you say, no, wait, this is our 80%. We're not going to go buy more clothes. We're not going to get an expensive motorbike. We're not going, we're going to live within our means. We're not going to get a flat that costs too much where we can't live on that 80%. Wow. So if you do that, you're going to find, even if it's a little amount, it grows. And then maybe you put your little 10% with somebody else's, and you start. Partnerships are great to go in on a business together. And most people have things lying around their yard or around their house that they're not using, and so begin to look around, or resources that you can tap into, that little by little. Just start where you are and you begin to build. I'll tell you the story of the guy who started the Java House, which are very famous restaurants all around in Kenya. There's none in the world. He started out by just selling chai tea out on the street when traffic was backed up in Nairobi. And he sold so much then, and he saved some, that he started a little shop, and now how many restaurants? And
a lot.
Millions and millions, billions of shillings, millions of dollars this man has made simply by these people in traffic. It's morning. They would like some wonderful chai tea or mandazi. He sold it, saved some money, began to grow his business, kept reinvesting. Then he had 2, then he had 3, then he had 10. I don't know how many Java
The
restaurants.
point of realizing that there's need at the traffics, that was creation.
That's right.
That was creation. And then the point of starting to sell and growing your business
Yes.
and finally getting them to a spot, getting a space.
He got a space.
Ownership.
He owned
And
it.
then they multiplied the spaces and then got to have a lot and lots and lots of the
Yes.
same spaces for Java, and that was now.
And again, the engine of prosperity is business.
Yeah.
So it starts with just you, but then when you take it to business, you start multiplying. It's 1 times.
Right.
And then you have employees, so it's 1 times 3. Then you have equipment. You see how it's the miracle, almost something magical happens. It's called the miracle of multiplication.
Miracle multiplication. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Ronna. The other question was, at what point in my business do I bring in the loan issue?
When you get established in a certain business and you want to expand, and let's say that you're in the restaurant business and you need to buy a commercial oven, all right, at that point, then it makes sense to go and borrow, maybe then to get some equipment to expand your business. Then it makes sense when you are to a point where, you know, I just need a few more employees. If I just had a few more employees, we could do this. And I had a situation this past week of a doctor who wants to build a hospital, and he just needs an ultrasound.
Yeah. He doesn't have the ultrasound machine.
He just needs that. And so he came to me for some capital. And so I'm not loaning it to him, I'm just becoming a part then of the business. But it makes sense. He can't grow without that ultrasound machine.
Oh, yeah.
So at that point, he needs to find someone like me who's a venture capitalist, or go to the bank. He's already got some equipment. He can borrow against the equipment he's got, the knowledge he has as a doctor, and banks will then loan him, or SACOs are even a better way, because they're more interested in helping you borrow and lower interest rates. So yes, there are times that you have a proven business plan, it's working, but to get to the next level, yes, sometimes you do need to get a loan to help you expand your business.
Can I get a loan to start a business?
You can in some respects,
Is
but
it
a lot.
appropriate?
I would say don't. Almost 99% of the time, don't do that. Do not borrow money on a new business, because most of the time, new businesses don't make it.
Oh, yeah.
They fail. And I've started some things. It's a risk, and somebody goes and borrows it, and then what happens? I borrowed money to buy a motorbike, and something happened, or I got sick, and now they come back and repossess my motorbike, and I own this.
Take my house.
And they come and take everything, and you're in a mess.
Oh yeah. So you have to start back again from zero.
So do your best not to borrow money on a new business, only to expand after you see, yes, we have a winning formula going on here, and if we just had a little bit of capital, then we could grow that as well.
Key point, loans are for expanding businesses, not starting businesses.
Yes.
That is very key.
Very, very key.
Thank you so much, Ronna. So I know we've said much, and we are going to take a short break before we come back to discuss more. Well, this show, remember, is brought to you by Actarix Media. Actarix Media is a freelance production media that does video production, professional photography. They also do audio production, and so much for that you will want. We also want to give a lot of thanks to the Vic Hotel that have hosted us today. If you want to enjoy premium services within the hospitality sector, you may want to visit the Vic Hotel for best internet, the best conferencing room, the best meals. They have very precious rooms that you can board and enjoy your stay when you come to Kisumu. Don't forget to visit the Vic Hotel. Thank you very much. We'll be back in a short break. Thank you very much, guys. Welcome back. We were having a topic about economic empowerment. The people would love to know, are you doing PPI alone?
So what we have done is we've created our own situation here.
Oh, yeah.
So we came together, I came together with a couple of people in Kenya, and now we are going to start PPA, People Prosper Africa. Yes,
oh, yeah.
People Prosper Africa. So the people at People Prosper International, Dr. John Morgan, who came up with the principles of create, own, and grow, because it's a third world country, he's allowing us to use his materials. So now we're partnering with him to be able to offer the materials, to be able to offer the courses, and we're going to teach trainers. They're going to go out and maybe charge a little bit for the course, give them a certificate. So we're going to be, you know, making a little bit of income, but then able to broaden this. And our goal is through social media, through training trainers, through going to churches, SACCOs, corporations, universities, colleges, to spread these principles. And we have a goal of helping 1 million people out of poverty in Africa.
Have you had other achievements so far, apart from what you're doing with PPA and PPI?
Well, my organization started really very, very small, just with a few donors. And so from that, I began to do projects in Kenya specifically. Then I would share what I did with my donors. Then I would have forums where I would, or dinners or different places where I would go to businesses and churches. I would talk about the work that I did, and step by step, I began to build the organization. And from that, my accountant told me a few weeks ago that my organization in the past few years has given over $2.4 million
for charity.
But now we're going to use it for empowerment.
Oh, yeah.
So started small, told my friends, my family, here's what I'm doing. Would you like to contribute? We're going to be building homes. We're going to be drilling wells. We're going to be helping people. And from there, I began to grow the organization. And I let my donors know, here's what we're doing. Here's where your money's going. I communicated with them. I enlarged my audiences. I got on social media. Every time somebody gave us a donation, I wrote a personal thank you note. I grew that organization, and an organization is still a business.
Oh, yeah.
You still run it the same way, whether it's a profit or a nonprofit, to the point now where I have thousands of donors who give on a regular basis. And so I've been able to enlarge my nonprofit corporation to the point where, you know, we've been able to do a significant amount of work, the same principles. Here's a need. People in Kenya need help. People in Africa need empowerment. Here's a way we can meet that need. And bringing people together to help build an organization that helps people. And so I've been 22 years at this.
22 years.
So it's not overnight. Don't expect to get rich quick or to build your organization overnight. You build it one step at a time, one building stone, just like your house. You've got a few blocks, build the foundation first, and then begin to grow it. And from that, we've been able to now starting to empower people. We're going to be building a hospital, and we're going to enlarge what we do as far as building houses, doing water projects, because again, we just really use the same principles of create, own, and grow.
During your time of serving the needy in Africa, what difference have you realized between empowerment and charity? What has been the distinctive difference?
It's really huge. And you know, the West has poured trillions of dollars, for instance, into Africa in aid, in handouts, and we're right back where we were.
The situation
has never changed.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're tilting And the West and organizations like mine are saying, wait a minute, enough of handouts.
Oh, yeah.
Let's empower the people. We want to work ourselves out of a job. God never intended for people to beg or to have to depend on some Mzungu to come and give them food. His intent is for people to be able to take care of themselves and their families. Yes. And so it's a freeing thing to know that we are helping people be able to build their own homes, to drill their own wells, to send their own children to school without worrying about all the time school fees, by empowering them. So because we built an organization and partnerships with people like People Prosper International and others, we're able to do this. And you know, in the long run, life and success in anything is relationships.
Oh, yeah.
You build relationships, you provide customer service, you realize that it's not about making money, it's about helping people. And when you help people, if you start a business and your goal is, I just want to make money, you know what, you're probably going to fail. But if you say, I'm going to help people, I'm going to provide the best customer service I can, it's automatic. You're going to grow that business and that organization. And so life is about relationships. And so in anything that we do, to realize that the most important thing is to build relationships, to provide great customer service, to do something that helps people. If you help people, you're going to make money. If you're out to just make money, then you're probably going to fail. But if your goal is, I want to help you succeed, I want to do something that will lift you up, then you're going to be successful. It is more blessed to give and receive. It's just going to come back to you as you give yourself to others, whether it be in business or in providing some type of public service or helping young people, whatever it is. It's going to come back to relationships.
Oh, yeah.
So very important.
Yeah, we are almost coming towards the end. Ronna, I know there are people who are watching and they would really love to, get contacts with you. Some may need information, some will want to partner you in some way. Mm-hmm. What are your contacts? What is the best way they can reach you?
So our website is houseswithhope.org. Okay. So if you would have questions or you would like to get a hold of us, or you want us to hold a conference of Create, Own, and Grow, you can go to houseswithhope.org and get that information. And then when we get People Prosper Africa up and running and a website, we will direct people to that. But for right now, you can contact us at houseswithhope.org, and we'll be happy to answer questions, to schedule some type of training at your church or at your job or at your SACO or your university, because we genuinely want to help people.
Can our viewers get materials, learning materials, informative materials?
Yes, we can get those to you either online or where possible, mail them, get them into your hands. So anything that we can do to help, we want to help empower people so that they can live their fullest potential, what God created them to be. He came that we not just survive, He came that we thrive. He said, I come to give you abundant life and joy and peace and plenty so that your needs are met and your purpose in life, you're able to do that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kelvin.
One last question. Do you live here or do you live abroad? Some will want to meet you physically, some... Where do you live?
Well, two places.
Where?
Kenya and in the United States of America. So I go back and forth. So I'm kind of caught between two worlds, two families, a Kenyan family and American family. So I have two residences, but mainly I do my business in the United States because I'm raising money.
Oh, yeah.
I'm raising money to help lift people out of poverty and to finance things. So I have to raise money from people that have some right now.
Oh, yeah.
But one of these days, people in Africa and in Kenya and around are going to have money too. So I'll be knocking on their door to help me empower people. So both places. I'm Kenyan and American, both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Ronna.
Kelvin. You're doing a great job. Congratulations on your program, your success. Continue to create, own, and grow.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. It has been an honor to have you on the show. Guys, if you have any question, if you have any comment, please reach out to us on our YouTube channel there. As you watch this, you can be posting your questions there. Be sure that definitely every question will reach to Ronna, and whatever she can do about it, she'll be able to give you a feedback at the end of the day. Well, it has been an honor to have Ronna here on the show and to also have you to watch us today. Until we meet again, see you next time.